Mr. Whitey Bryan is going to say a few things, and then we're going to invite everybody else up to say anything they want about Mike. And so here he is, Whitey Bryan.
All right, glad y'all came today. We are here today to honor the life and the memory of Michael Anthony Raffinelo, an incredible, unique, singular talent as a guitar player and a musician. But more importantly, a loving son, loving husband, brother, father, and friend. At a time like this, when someone is taken way too suddenly and way too soon, it's hard to find words of comfort. But one thing we can take comfort in is that as long as all of us here remember Mike and his life and what he meant to us, then the music, the musician, the father, the husband, the son, the brother, the friend will live on. And also we can take comfort in the fact that Mike is now part of that great, everlasting, eternal jam session, most incredible jam session. And each one of us, in our own time, in our own way, will eventually be listening to that jam session and listening to Mike again. So, in honor of Mike and what he meant to all of us. Oh, also, I'm sorry, Brenda wanted to say that that Mike Jr. did want to be here today. He couldn't, but he is honoring Mike in his own way. So, all of us will do the same. So, anybody else who wants to come up and say something about Mike or what they remember, please feel free.
Well, I guess I'll be the first. And, you know, Mike and I had a very special relationship. We didn't always see eye to eye, and we didn't always get along. And honest to God, I honestly didn't always like Mike. But he was a unique guy. But, you know, what strikes me when this happened is, you know, the first thing I thought is like, God damn, I wish I'd have been nicer to him when he was here. And I wish I would have done this, and I wish I would have done that. And it just makes me think a lot about how fragile life is. And we're all just kind of hanging by a thread, and we're all just trying to get by. And, you know, Mike was an incredibly disciplined person. Anybody that's ever been into Mike's house knows that he was like, he kept an immaculate house. I mean, there was never a spot on his floor. He was like totally OCD about his house. He was completely OCD about every aspect of his life. And if this could happen to him, it could happen to any of us. And so, you know, instead of thinking about, maybe I should have been nicer to Mike, maybe what we should think about is maybe we should be nicer to each other while we're still here before we're gone. So everybody look at the guy next to you and shake their hand and say, I love you, man. Come on. Seriously, you know. All right. I love you too, Tommy. But maybe that's what the universe is telling us, is that maybe we should just try to appreciate each other while we're here instead of waiting till someone is gone. Mom appreciates me best. So anyway, that's all I got, other than to say that really going to miss the guy. I'm going to miss seeing him out at the jams and miss everything about him. And, you know, he was a little rough on the outside, had some rough edges. But if anybody ever saw Mike the way he acted with his little dog, anybody remember that? How he loved that dog? He really did. You know, for being such a rough, crusty guy on the outside, he really was a tender, kind of a sweet guy on the inside. And we'll miss him. Anybody else?
I got to lower the mic. When I was like 14, I was playing drums and stuff for, I don't know, a few years or whatever, and was antsy to get in a band, play. And there was an ad in the paper that I was looking at, and it said drummer wanted. And so I called this guy, and he said, yeah, man, come on over, man. I just got down from New York and played with a band called the Good Rats. And so I went over to his house, and he was just really relaxed, high strung, but relaxed, and had his guitar in his lap. And, you know, he wanted me to play with him. I wanted to play with him, but I wanted to be in a band. So I, you know, looking back on it, it sucks. But I went with an artist, Tennessee Jeannie and Smokehouse. She used to play around here, country outfit. But years later, I got to play with him finally in Robin Chase Band. And we played together, and it was a treat. We did a battle of bands, did some other gigs. And, you know, the guy was sincere. Yeah, I caught the rough edges of him. We were in rehearsal one time. I didn't smoke then, but we were fixing to go like a third time into a song, practicing it. And he started to light a cigarette, and I looked at him. I said, I don't stop for fucking cigarettes, man. And I clicked it off and went into the song. He looked at me like he was gonna fucking kill me. But it was all good, man. And we reconnected, I guess, a couple months ago, just talking about music and whatnot. And he's a good soul. He's gonna make a fucking tough angel. Whoever gets him as an angel is gonna be walking a fine line. That's for fucking sure. And God bless him, and God bless his family, loved ones, and friends. He's in a good place. He's at peace. And God bless everybody here for being here in his memory. And I'm honored to be here. Thank you, guys.
Hello, everybody. I want to thank everybody for coming out and remembering my uncle. Yeah, I'm definitely going to miss him. I can remember as soon as I was able to crawl and start walking, in our house in New York, I used to crawl down to the basement, and the Good Rats used to jam in our basement. And I remember as the youngest kid, the littlest boy, I would sit right in front of his Marshall Bottom, and he'd be playing loud as hell with the band, and my grandma would run down there and grab me. You're going to get deaf. You're going to get deaf sitting in front of that amp like that. And I don't know, it was awesome when I moved down here, and I moved in with my grandma. Mike was like a father to me, man. He took me to all his band practices. My first partying was Mike. I had my first drink of booze with my Uncle Mike. We pretty much did everything together. We went to seen a lot of concerts together. You know, when I was 17, I was carrying his equipment and into the Cedar Chest and the Hotel California, always watching him play. And I'm really going to miss his playing. And one thing I could say with Mike, too, there's a lot of times we didn't agree. Sometimes I hated him. You know, we didn't talk. But I could always say one thing about him. He was an awesome guitar player. He worked hard at his playing. He practiced day and night, and he had a passion for guitar and for music, and he was really special, and he's really awesome. And the cool thing too, when he died, I got a lot of his CDs, that stuff that he had worked on that he had never even put out, and I sat and I listened to it, and I was like, oh my God, why didn't this guy put this stuff out? It's just so amazing. And I'm hoping pretty soon when I figure out how to do that stuff, I'm going to try to see if I can get that stuff circulated, because I'd really like to hear a lot more people hear him play. He was really actually an excellent guitar player. He was really up there with the best. And not to brag myself, but I've seen some of the greatest guitar players in the world. I've seen pretty much of them all. And Mike could pretty much keep up with all of them, and he could actually learn their songs and play the stuff they could play too. He was just a great guitar player. He was a great guy. He was like a father to me, and I was fortunate enough too that just before he passed away, I walked right in the room, and then he died, which was funny. He was kind of waiting on me, and I thought it was kind of cool. As soon as I walked in, he was like, all right, and he left. And I miss him terribly, man. I'm gonna miss watching him play and watching the gigs. And I know he's in heaven, you know, jamming with Dimebag and Randy Rhoads and Hendrix and all them. And I can't wait to get up there myself and see it. It's going to be an amazing sight, and I'm certainly going to miss him, man. And I want to say again, thanks for you guys all coming out and celebrating and remembering him. And I know today we'd like you to definitely party down, so party hard and remember Mike today. Thank you.
I'm a real pack rat, and I save just about everything. And I don't know, newspaper article from TGIF section of Today newspaper. I played with Mike in the Rough House band, and according to this thing, it was like fall of '87. I thought I'd read it for you because this was actually an interview that they did on Mike. Rough House is a new 5-piece band that is ready to rock and roll with Space Coast audiences. All experienced professionals with group members performing with a number of other local groups before getting together 6 months ago for the common goal of making music. Born in Brooklyn, New York, Mike Raff, 35, is Rough House's lead guitarist. Although he plays mainly rock music on stage, Raff said he spends a lot of time listening to classical and jazz music. Introduced to the world of music at the age of 12 by listening to his older sister's Beatles albums, Raff said his first professional appearance was at the New York World Fair in 1964. After performing at the New York Coliseum and Central Park concerts, Raff said one of the best nights of his career was at the Electric Circus in New York City, where the audience included one of his heroes, the late guitar master Jimi Hendrix. I practice music from 5 to 10 hours a day, Raff said. Music is totally full-time for me. Although it is difficult to find dedicated players in this area right now, Rough House is trying to tighten up our sound and work on some original tunes. Other members of the Rough House are keyboard player James Gomes, yours truly Pete Sailing, vocalist George Shaftsma, and bass player Randy Bates. A Brevard County resident for 15 years, Gomes started playing banjo at the age of 12, and years later was lead guitarist in a rock band. I didn't start playing keyboards, Gomes says, until full-time until about 5 years ago. Gomes said the largest crowd he ever played for was the '68 Republican Party convention in Chicago for Richard Nixon. I'm trying to shorten this. He described Rough House style as a kind of rock and roll you hear on MTV or DIZ radio. Not top 40, not heavy metal, but somewhere in between. Some people call it commercial rock or top 100. Pretty much that's what it says about in this article about Michael, so I don't want to go on too much about Jim, but Mike's going to be sorely missed in this area. Mike was the kind of guy that at times had a hard time playing in bands. See, like he said in here, he had a hard time respecting some of the local musicians, and you can understand that after spending some time in New York and teething up there. But it was fun, and he played with us here maybe 3 months ago or so at a jam session. It was the last time I saw him, and he was in good spirits, and he was working on a lot of original music as usual, and that was his forte. Mike was the kind of guy that was you would consider more of a studio musician than a live musician. There wasn't anything the guy couldn't play. When I first met him, he was already covering Eddie Van Halen note for note just perfectly. And we're going to miss him. I'm sure my tinnitus is not going to miss him. But all in all, Mike, I hope you like the weather you got today, and all your friends are here for you.
I had the pleasure and honor of jamming with Mike in our band Southern Pride for quite a while, and he was an awesome musician, and he brought to the stage an incredible energy and you could always count on him for being the first one at practice, the first one to be at a gig and ready to rock and ready to roll. And it was very shocking to hear of his passing. And unfortunately, we lost touch in the couple years before he did pass away. But we were able to see him one last time before his passing at the open mics jam. And it was good to see him and say hello, and had a lot of good memories. He was he was one of those ones that you loved at a moment and you could turn around and hate him at the next, but at the end he was doing what he loved. His love for music was very apparent in his playing, and I'm happy to have known him for the short time that I did. I didn't know him as long as all of you guys did. I heard about him, and when he came and wanted to play with us, I was like, wow, I've heard about this guy. And he brought his own style, he brought his own flair, and have a lot of good memories of jamming with him. So I know he's up there rocking in peace, and I'm glad to see everybody here that's here to pay tribute to him and honor him. And Steve, you're the man for putting this together. We appreciate that. Definitely. So God bless you too, my friend. And I hope everybody has a good time today and rocks in his memory. He will not be forgotten.
I never went to the Cedar Chest, but I used to play at Bill's Clipper before it became the Cedar Chest. Ralph would come in and jam with us once in a while. I hated the guy. He was a total ass, but he was a talented ass, and he had a passion that was unbeatable. Here's to you, Mike. Did you get the flyover? I didn't really hate him. He hated me.
I met Mike about 30 years ago in this town, Bill's Clipper Lounge, Cedar Chest. Ran lights for the guy many shows. He later on joined bands like Elgin Hooper with us, Indecision. Jammed with his party. He's a hell of a guy, Mike. Gonna miss you, brother. Oh, and Robin Chase, too. Thank you.
Hey, is there anybody else that would like to come up and say a few words? Don't be bashful now. All right, here's John.
Hello, everybody. I'm glad we're all here for Mike. I had a band with Mike in 1986, almost a whole year. Now, let me tell you what, I'm very proud of how long we all kept that thing going, because as you know, Mike's hard to work with because he's so damn good. And it was difficult. His dad became a very good friend of mine, old Mike Raffinelo. And even when me and Mike would be like at odds, you know, old Mike would call me up. Hey, Johnny, where are you playing at? And he'd always talk about that fuck. I don't know where he's going to be and what he's doing. But anyway, Mike was a good friend of mine, and he was a great guitar player, and it was hard to be in a band with Mike because, you know, it kind of makes you look bad, you know. So all I could really do is just try to hang in there, and you know. And I gotta say, on a personal note, he started complimenting me more and more later in life, and I feel good about that. I don't know if he just wanted a job, or if I was actually starting to impress Mike, which would be difficult to do, because Mike knew how everything went, and you know, he's a great player. He's a scary good player. And I got one story. I had an audition the day I hired Mike. I had an audition. I had 4 guitar players come over, and they were all lined up ready to audition for this new band that I was trying to do. And Mike was first, and all 3 of the other guys left. And I said, I guess you got the job, Mike. I don't know what the hell's going on here, but I guess you got the job. That was a funny thing. But one last thing. The best thing I ever did for Mike was when his mama died. Mike, we went to the funeral, and Mike didn't know it, and he spun around and he saw his whole band sitting there, and that was a cool thing, you know. I'm a little proud of that. I get a little goosebumps because he's with his mom and dad, and I'll tell you what, he really loved his mom and dad, and they loved him forever. So anyway, enough of this foolishness. Does anybody else have anything they want to remind us of?
Well, John, I can remind you of 1983, the Shark Lounge. Me and you and the two Willets were playing there, and Mike comes up in his spandex.
I remember that.
And he comes up all puffed up and says, "I can play better than you.
I can play better than anybody in this town." And that was our introduction to Mike.
That was him. All right, we're going to start the jamming off if no one else has anything to say. But we got John Quinlivan, Dave Jets, Peter George, and the famous Ernie Beginning.
Yeah, but next time you see me, then it probably won't be the same. Yeah, but next time you see me, probably won't be the same. I still love you, baby, and you've only got yourself to blame. You're true saying all that shines ain't gold. True saying all that shines ain't gold. Still love you, baby, you are the queen upon your throne. Yeah, lied and cheated on me all over my hometown. Lied and cheated on me all over my hometown. I still love you, baby, you still got the best looking moves around. up first. Now or never, till the end of time. So there's a teeny weeny bit and a teeny weeny bit of your love. White people with rhythm. The sky is crying. Can't see the tear roll down the street. The sky is crying. Can't see the tear roll down the street. Looking for my baby, and I wonder where can she be? I saw my baby early this morning. She was walking on down the street. Saw my baby early this morning. She was walking on down the street. Yeah, you know it hurt me so bad. Made my poor heart skip a beat. My baby, she don't love me no more. I got a real bad feeling that my baby, she done run off another woman. Like Patty over here. Yeah, you know this guy been crying. Can you see the tears roll down my nose? Come on, Dave. My baby, she done run off and she don't love me no more. Yeah, I got a real bad feeling. And my baby, she done run off with somebody else. She don't love me no more, Charles. She don't love me, Charles. Yeah, you know the Can you see the tears roll down my nose? That close, Mike. Mike, are you listening? We're trying here. Was that? Hey, Bruce, what do you got, man? The rain fell this morning, baby, it feels so bad on account of my baby. Took off with another man, taking eyesight from a blind man, and money from the poor. That woman took my love and walked on out the door. Yeah, but it sure enough got cold after the rain fell. Yeah, from the sky, from my eyes. Somebody, can't you tell me what makes a man feel this way? Like river out in the water, like night without the day. Yeah, my burn ain't so superficial. Now when it's running all through the night, tell me where to keep me wondering. Everything's alright. Yeah, but sure enough got cold after the rain fell. Yeah, from the sky, from my eyes. Ever early in the morning, you feel like that rain is gonna fall. Thunderbolts and lightning, and the wind began to call. Where it ain't so superficial. Now when it stretches out all night long, Jody, tell me what to keep me wondering. Everything's alright. Yeah, but sure I've got cold out of the rain fell. Lord, from the sky, from my eyes. Lord, from the sky, from my eyes. Lord, from the sky.
Yeah, we're having fun for Mike here today, eh? Y'all having a good time today? You get some food yet? There's all kinds of stuff here.
What are we doing now? We're jammers.
Yeah, this is a jam. You got the inkling.
Get on up here.
We'll find something for you to play, clave or...
Yeah, can I sing something here with the Dream Team? Have you heard about loving so through the blood? My baby loves me 'cause the sun don't shine. She's my sweet little thing. She's my pride and joy. She's my sweet little baby. I'm the little boy. I love my baby, but it's so. Love like ours, I won't never go. She's my sweet little thing. She's my pride and joy. She's my sweet little baby. I'm a little stupid boy. I love my baby. She's gonna leave. You mess with her, you see a man on your dream. She's my sweet little thing. She's my pride and joy. She's my sweet little baby. I'm a little skinny boy. Go on, Big Dave. She's my sweet little baby.